Hello, officers. Welcome to the 20th episode of Environment by Prerana ICS for UPSC Prelims 2026. ఇవాళ మనం టాపిక్ వచ్చేసి ప్రొటెక్టెడ్ ఏరియా నెట్వర్క్స్ ఇన్ న్యూస్. మీరు చూస్తున్నారు ఆల్రెడీ ఇన్ న్యూస్ దట్ చాలా వైల్డ్ లైఫ్ శాంక్చురీస్, చాలా టైగర్ రిజర్వ్స్ దే ఆర్ కన్సిస్టెంట్లీ ఇన్ న్యూస్. సో మనకి ఖచ్చితంగా ప్రొటెక్టెడ్ ఏరియాస్ ఏవైతే న్యూస్ లో ఉన్నాయో దాని కాంటెక్స్ట్ ఏంటో మనం తెలుసుకుంటే, యాజ్ ఐ టోల్ యూ ఇన్ మై ప్రీవియస్ వీడియో ఆల్సో, ఇట్ బికమ్స్ వెరీ ఈజీ ఫర్ అస్ టు రిమెంబర్ వై ఇస్ ఇట్ ఇన్ న్యూస్. సో దాని న్యూస్ లో ఎందుకుందో తెలిస్తే ఏమేం ఫ్యాక్ట్స్ ప్రిలిమ్స్ కి గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలనేది మనకి ఈజీ అవుతుంది. సో కొరింగా వైల్డ్ లైఫ్ శాంక్చురీ, నార్పా వైల్డ్ లైఫ్ శాంక్చురీ అండ్ ముకుంద్రా హిల్స్ టైగర్ రిజర్వ్ ఆర్ ఇన్ న్యూస్ this week. So let's also understand why they're in news and what are the important facts that you need to remember for this exam. So as we can see, Koringa Wildlife Sanctuary. The Wildlife Sanctuary 40th Asian Waterbird Census on January 10th and 11th in గోదావరిలో ఎస్చురీలో మనం చూసాం. సో ఈ సెన్సస్ ఏదైతే జరిగిందో దట్ హ్యాస్ లెడ్ టు this particular estuary or the wildlife sanctuary to be in use. దీనికి మనకి ప్రిలిమ్స్ కి ఏం గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలి ఇలాంటి టాపిక్స్ న్యూస్ లో ఉన్నప్పుడు? దట్ ఈస్ ఫస్ట్ ద లొకేషన్ ఆఫ్ ద వైల్డ్ లైఫ్ sanctuary. This wildlife sanctuary, as we know, Koringa is located in Andhra Pradesh. It is part of the Godavari Delta where Koringa River merges with the Bay of Bengal. So remember that Koringa is the name of the river that is passing through this particular wildlife sanctuary. And ఏదైతే ఎస్చురీ ఉందో, the delta region or the estuary region that is there, in that is an ecotone where the river ecosystem is merging with the sea or the Bay of Bengal. Now, what is the type of vegetation that you can find here? You will see extensive mangroves and dry deciduous tropical forest that is there in the delta region. Now, it is the second largest stretch of mangroves that is present in India. So this fact becomes more important for our understanding. So second largest idaithe, first largest ఏంటి? So if you know the answer, please comment that in the comment section. We will let you know what is the right answer. Then flora. Mangrove plants like the Rhizophora and Avicennaca and Sonatia, these are the types of mangrove species that are grown. So that might not be asked, but you have to know what rhizophoras are, how are they different from each other. Then what is the fauna? You can see major endangered mammals like the smooth Indian otter. So this is the smooth Indian otter that you can find in Koringa Wildlife Sanctuary. You can find fishing cats, jackals, etc. The most important endangered species would be smooth Indian otter that you need to remember, that is linked to the Koringa Wildlife Sanctuary. And it is an excellent habitat for birds like the black-capped kingfisher, seagulls, reef herons, and sandpipers. Now, it is a breeding ground for olive ridley turtles. Now, we also know Bhitarkanika is one of the breeding area for olive ridley turtles in Odisha. So, in Andhra Pradesh, if you have to know, then this Koringa Wildlife Sanctuary is also one of the breeding spaces for the olive ridley turtles. Moving on, the context of this wildlife sanctuary that is in use is because of the Asian waterbird census. So, ఈ Asian waterbird census ఎందుకు? మనం ప్రీవియస్ వీడియో చూసుంటే మీరు రామ్సార్ వెట్లాండ్స్ ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో అందులో we said there is census of the birds being taken. అందులో డేటా కలెక్ట్ చేసి అది వెట్లాండ్స్ కి ఎట్లా మనము ascribe చేస్తాము అని చూసాం. Same way we will see here also what is this Asian waterbird census. It is a citizen science program that supports the conservation and management of wetlands and waterbirds on a global arena, and it conducts an annual and it is part of the global international waterbird census. This is the same census that is being used for the wetland mapping as well. So if it is in use twice, it becomes important for us to understand and it becomes a fact to be remembered for the exam. So it is initiated in 1987 in the Indian subcontinent, and it has grown in the major regions of Asia from Afghanistan eastwards to Japan and Southeast Asia and Australasia. In India, this is under the aegis of the Bombay Natural History Society and the World Institute of India in early January. So, this is what you have to remember regarding the census. Moving on to our next wildlife sanctuary that is in news, it is the Narpu Wildlife Sanctuary. As we can see, it is again in news because the species here are endangered, both wildlife as well as the population of the vegetation or the trees. So they are declining. So the news article talks about why they're declining. So let us see what are the important facts that we need to know for prelims. Where is it located? It is located in the East Jantia Hills in Meghalaya. We can see that in map. So whenever it is in border, it becomes more important because the conservation has to happen in all the regions. Then it was declared a wildlife sanctuary in 2014 and it is the only protected area in Jantia Hills. That is why it is more important. Reserve forest bounds the sanctuary on all sides except in the southwest direction. That is why the map is put here to understand. So it shares boundary with the state of Assam, and the northern part of the sanctuary is bounded with Luka River, forming a physical barrier to this wildlife sanctuary. And then it is prone to heavy rainfall, as we know. The Meghalaya has recorded, it usually records heavy rainfall every year, averaging more than 6,000 millimeters from the southwest monsoon. Its climate is favorable for the propagation and sustenance of rich and wide variety of wild, endangered flora and fauna. We know that, and now the population is declining. That is why it is in use. So now, what is the type of vegetation that grows there? It has some of the tallest evergreen and semi-evergreen forests remaining in Meghalaya that are found in this region. And Pulog gibbon, as we can see here, and Sero is this. So slow loris, sloth bear, we have discussed, large Indian civet, leopard cat, clouded leopard, barking deer. These are all found in here. Most of them are vulnerable and endangered species. And it also falls under the Indo-Burma biodiversity hotspot. So these are some of the different species that are endangered and are to be remembered for prelims. So these are the species that I am talking about in the previous slide. So this is the barking deer. This is the civet. Yes. And the other species here is the slow loris. So when you see the animal pictorial memory helps you in remembering whether these animals are nocturnal or not. So civets usually are nocturnal species. Yes. So moving on to our next area, protected area, it is Mukundara Hills Tiger Reserve. Now, why is it in use? Again, this is in use because the regions Bandi, Kota, uh, this Jalawad and Chittorgarh in Rajasthan, they have had major conservation programs for this particular tiger reserve. Yes, so this is also called as a Darra Wildlife Sanctuary. And in this Darra Wildlife Sanctuary, this particular area is of these four districts has been nominated as the Tiger Reserve area. So it is situated in a valley formed between the mountains Mukundra and Gargola. So the location or the geography of this particular thing also is important. It encompasses the area of Mukundra National Park, Dara Sanctuary, Jawahar Sagar Sanctuary, and part of Chembal Sanctuary, forming its core tiger habitat. Now, what becomes important here for prelims is arranging all of them north to south or east to west. So these are the types of questions. When we are remembering facts, it is easy for you to understand and by heart the names. But what happens in the examination is the question is asking you to arrange, and there you might face difficulty in answering such kind of questions. So it is whenever you're reading facts like this, try and map them on the map. See how you can remember them in an order, either north to south or east to west. Yes, that helps you to answer such kind of questions easily in the examination. It is located between Ranthambore and Madhya Pradesh Kuno National Park. The tiger reserve was once a hunting preserve belonging to Maharaj of Kota. So we'll also know the rivers and what are the different species, flora and fauna that are there. It is located on the eastern bank of Chambal River, and it is drained by the distributaries of this river. And the vegetation that is predominantly found here is the dry deciduous forest. So మనకి dry deciduous forest అనగానే you will have bare species, Kaladok species, Kaladi species, which are predominant. And then the fauna that is there, we know that leopard, sloth bear, nilgai, chinkara, spotted deer, small Indian civet, toddy cat, jackal, hyena, jungle cat, common langur. These you might have already seen in your endangered or vulnerable species list. Otherwise, we'll make a video on that as well. Then we have the common reptiles and amphibians or pythons, rat snake, buff striped keelbacks, green keelback, crocodile, gharial, otters, and turtles. So as you can see, this is a gharial. Yes, and this snake is a keelback. It is a buff striped keelback. So if you see అంటే మీరు పిక్చర్ చూసినప్పుడు ఇఫ్ యూ సీ అ కీల్ బ్యాక్ ఇట్ ఈస్ అ స్నేక్ అని చెప్పి మీరు గుర్తుపెట్టుకోగలుగుతారు అని దట్ ఈస్ ద ఇంపార్టెన్స్ ఆఫ్ ద పిక్చర్ హియర్ అండ్ గరియల్ ఓన్లీ మేల్స్ విల్ హ్యావ్ ద స్నౌట్ ఆన్ ద నోస్ సో దట్ ఈస్ వన్ ఆఫ్ ద important features that they have when compared to other crocodiles, the males and in specific. So these are the important protected area networks that are there in use in the last month. So for more such videos, please follow our channel, Prerana. Thank you.